What's up, YouTube? Alright, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is obviously where I do some 240 and some FD stuff. Today we are working on the 240, and I believe it is the P0327 or 237. I got a knock sensor low voltage check engine light, and so what I did is I bought a couple AC Delco knock sensors and a new harness. They generally recommend, go ahead and replacing the harness while you're doing this, probably because I'm willing to bet probably my harness itself is bad, more than the sensors. But since you're already in there, go ahead and do it. When I called up Chevrolet, they were saying that these were $100 each, and this was like 70 bucks or 65 bucks, something like that. I ended up getting it from Summit for roughly half to 2/3 the price, and I could live with that. All right, looking over here at the car, the thing we need to do is to take off our intake manifold, and we're going to start by taking off our air intake. I'm just gonna unbolt it from here and unbolt it from here to get it off so throttle body can get off, and then we'll work on taking off the actual throttle cable, coil pack harness, and then I think I'll look at trying to take all of these off without taking off any of the fuel stuff. Should be able to do that. To take off the intake manifold, first I'm going to take off the air intake. So we'll take the screw, this nut, that screw, loosen it up. Just need to slide it out of the way just so this can get off. I think we need to take off the throttle position sensor and this other wire down here. I'm forgetting what it is. Then the throttle cable. I'm also going to take off the negative battery cable since I am going to be messing with the coil pack harness. Just going to unplug those, but I'll take that off. So once I get this front, and then what I can lift off the front here, also this blow by or return PCV valve, I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to take off the back brake booster. And really all I want to do, I don't want to take off the cold start thing. I think that's still attached actually on down the bottom, so I should be able to get that. I just want to be able to lift it and take these 10s out. I want to just be able to lift it and move it over enough to get to the knock sensors. I realized that, yeah, the coil pack harness has nothing to do with it. I took off the injector plugs. That way I can swing it out of the way without pulling on the harness. I guess, yeah, because all the wires come down here, I'd be trying to lean it over. So I got them all up. I mean, as you can see, there's, doesn't look like there's any coating or anything like that on them. I got these plugs off. There is this hose down here that I need to get off, and once I get that off, I need to see what else in the rear. It is, it's coming up pretty easy. Doesn't have a problem. On the front though, it's a little bit tight, and it might be because of that particular hose. It appeared easier just to take off the throttle body because it has the cold start stuff on it and things like that from the vacuum lines or the steam port lines, stuff like that. Probably should have replaced this when I originally did it, but I pulled hard. It was so brittle and it snapped off. Let me see if I can get a regular pair of pliers. See if I can grip on that and get that off, and then we'll get a new line. This, now I have plenty of space to be pulling it off. I guess I need to make sure I take all these out with the washers. It seems to be getting hung up on one or two of these. Like that one. I don't think needs much more than just a little finger turn. All right, I have all of those out. There we go. See what else is connected on the back. I think is the map sensor or something like that, cam sensor or something like that. Swing this over. That's off. Now we could get a look down inside. Probably need to clean some of that out, but overall it doesn't look horrible. If you look down in there, you can see a little bit of moisture from oil and stuff. I put some, shop towels in the intake ports because I'm going to clean this up a bit, and it's kind of got a good bit of gunk. I am probably, though I do not recommend it, I'm probably just going to run these same seals. These look pretty good. I'll just probably take a little brake cleaner and stuff, wipe them off, make sure they're dry and clean, and get it set back down on here. I'm going to go ahead and clean it off before I do the knock sensor and the wiring because, why mess up good wiring, or why potentially mess up good wiring. I got it as cleaned up as well I feel to get it. It's considerably better, but I mean, there's no reason to go all crazy and try to clean it all up. But I got it pretty clean. Made sure I put the towels in there so none of the debris fell down in there when I was cleaning it. Now I need to go ahead and take off the knock sensor harness, pull that out, and then get the knock sensors out. As you would expect for, say 100,000 mile, car, this on the engine, this rubber is I mean, it's hard as a rock. It's pretty, I mean, hard as a rock. It looks like this one is really clean. Doesn't look like any moisture really got into that. Does look like a little moisture got into this one. I'll see if there's any loose debris. If there's any loose debris, I'll take the shop vac and try to, you know, shop vac that out before I even take off the sensor itself. With a 22, see if we'll focus on that. With a 22 millimeter socket, I mean, this is a deep one would be a lot better. I think this was getting really close to touching the edges, but it was able to get them loose. It just pops them loose, and then you just, you know, spin them out. I mean, look at that one. That one definitely could be failing, because that pretty corroded. Maybe, maybe not. All right, let's look at the other one. This one looks much cleaner. This one actually looks like it was changed fairly recently. But I got two new ones. I'm going to put them in. Went ahead and put the two new knock sensors in. I'm going to grab my new harness. And thing to keep in mind, or make sure you really do, is you get a good seal down on top of it. This will help keep out the moisture and things like that. But it just goes over like that. This will snap in just like that. That's it, and then we'll slide this down, pop them right on top. Went ahead and cleaned the intake sides of the intake manifold. Got the shop towels out, and looks like everything's pretty much ready to be put back, you know, the intake to be put back on. Got to make sure I don't pinch any wires, don't end up screwing up the knock harness sensor or any of those in the back, so I got to be very careful. All right, for our torque sequence, we will go, I believe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe that's how that goes, and we'll get those tightened down. I have the intake manifold all torqued down. I have the throttle body torqued down. I have the bottom part of the steam port plugged in. I guess I can plug in these sensors now that that's all plugged in. Well, that one goes there. And this one goes here. Alright, so the wiring on the front is done. The wiring on the back is done. The knock sensor wiring is in. The map sensor is in. I think the last thing I have to do on the back is plug in that hose. Then I'll need to do the throttle body, and I need to get a new one of these since that one was so brittle it broke off. So I'll go do that. I'll get everything hooked up except that, and that's the last thing I'll have. and then we'll be ready to start it and see if the check engine light is gone. I started her up. I have a little bit of, I guess I dropped some oil, something on there, so that's going to steam for a little bit. But the check engine light's off. It's a success. I do need to get the proper hose for that. That one is crimped, so that's not good. But once I get that, that should be all right. All right, well wow. All right, well that is how you change the knock sensors on the LS1, and it's pretty simple. You just got to use about 30-45 minutes and you're good to go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Got a whole bunch more coming, and yeah, peace out.